I'm feeling good,
Yeah,
man. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah. We
saying? Yeah,
here.
you
We
already
live. We
know.
live. We live.
Yeah,
Mic
baby.
check. 1 2 1 2.
Hey,
Mic check. 1 2
hey,
1 2.
get the comments popping. Let me turn the comment section on.
All right, look, everybody.
I want all the
Last
smoke
week we
today.
talked about men as protectors, and we came
Right,
from a totally different angle.
right,
We're dealing with the big three that the church folk are always saying is the role of a man:
right,
priest, provider, protector.
right.
All right. We dealt with protector last week. This week we dealing with provider, and I'm coming
Uh-huh.
on here with a hot take today that
Yes,
God never intended men to be providers. Let's get
yes.
to Jay. You ready? Let's go.
I am ready. Hey, ooh, it's summertime too, baby. We got some man laws to address.
Welcome to the Get Your S.H.I.F.T. Together Men's Podcast with your host, Dr. MyRon Edmonds.
Yo, fellas, what's good? Welcome to the Get Your
Yo.
Shift Together Men's Podcast. It's me and Jay, and we here.
Yes, we are
10
here.
toes down, we here.
10 toes. A lot going on in the world, a lot to address in the men community, man. We got the Knicks basically gave up everything, man. I'm so mad, man.
Oh, man.
I'm so mad at the Knicks right now. I really wanted the Knicks to win so the world could burn, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that's true. I was same reason. I was rooting for the Knicks. Because, man, who wants to watch OKC and the Pacers in the finals, man?
The worst ratings probably ever in NBA Finals history is about to go down, right?
We're going to talk about that today. We got to talk about that today.
Yes, sir.
So much to discuss. We got some man laws we got to get into because the summer is here. Jay about to go to LA. That's why he got this LA hat.
Every year, baby. Every year around this time.
Yo, I just got back from Africa. I got stories to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff going on in the news. People are crashing out. People are wilding out. Football players getting caught with that pink booger sugar on the boat. Man, it's a lot going on. But the first things first, got to shout out our brother right now, Dr. Quentin Cancel, who has made the most amazing product for men's health, men's performance, in the bedroom, outside the bedroom, all of that stuff is a completely natural product using all natural stuff to boost nitric oxide, which helps blood flow. Hint, hint, helps blood flow. It's not a bone down there. There's no bone down there. Listen, when I was a little boy, I thought it was a bone down there.
That's because you a weirdo, bro. Thought it was a bone down there.
I thought it was a bone. It's not a bone. It's blood flow. The blood flow gets it like that. Anyway, go to the website right now and get this amazing product. Jay uses it. I use it. Our wives are happy. We're happy. We got more energy. All that stuff. Go to www.naturaleman.com. And it's the only flavor that brothers should be having. It's watermelon. He got watermelon, and then now he got watermelon raspberry. And so you already know what the secrets of watermelon. Anyway, go ahead and grab that supplement right now. And then second thing, we got to remind you, fellas, I don't know what y'all doing. Last night we had an amazing time. We got a free webinar this coming Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. It's a masterclass. 3 things that I learned that are the worst mindsets that men have that keep them from winning in the stuff that matters the most. Listen, if you want to make more money, if you want your marriage to be better, if you want more respect and power, money, sex, and power, if you want more of those things, more peace, all that, what if I told you that the way that you're going about life right now, the way that they taught you, what if I told you that this whole like traditional manhood thing, like that you have learned is actually keeping you from all those things? What if I told you that the way you got to success is the exact way that you don't get to more of these things? I'm going to help you work that out. Do me a favor, go to the website right now, get your spot. It is totally free, but we only have limited spots. The website is www.menswinningscircle.com/breakthrough. Register. It's just 1 hour. I'm going to give you these 3 principles, and then I'm going to get out of your way. All right. Jay?
Wait. What are you doing, man? Shout out to the men's 40-day devotional. Make sure you pick up a copy.
By the way, dudes that come to the masterclass, they get a free copy.
Oh, man. Woo.
Thank you for bringing that up.
That's golden. That's golden right there. That's golden. Free copy of that, man. That's free. That's free game. Like Jay said, I'm trying to give you a bunch of game, man, for $9.99.
Now they can go on Amazon and buy it right now, and they can get that thing delivered tomorrow. We know how Amazon is, sir.
Yes, we do.
Amazon is omnipresent. But if you want a free copy, all you got to do is show up next Wednesday, stay to the end, and I will give you instructions on how to get a free copy. No, this is no gimmick, no nothing, no scam, nothing.
So I mean, everybody should be in there Wednesday, man. You should have crash the internet, man. Bandwidth should be struggling. Everybody should be in there, man. You giving away free copy of the game.
And if common sense was common, everybody would have it, bro.
What's wrong with y'all, man?
Everybody would have it. Jay, let's get in these man laws, bro. What you got for us, man?
Yes. Let's talk. Because it is the summertime, baby. Officially the summertime, man. Let's get two of them out the way. One is a question and one is a man law, right? First off, brothers, it's cookout season. You're going to the family cookouts. Y'all having a good time. You're line dancing. Your family around. You're having a great time.
Boots on the ground, huh?
Let's talk about it. Brothers, boots on the ground. We love it's great. Shout out to 803 Fresh. Great song. Great line dance. But brothers, let me get a little close. Leave the fans to the ladies. I don't want to see no brother. The fans, they pop the fans, what I'm saying, when they do the line dance, they have the fans out. Hey, we're going to leave the fans to the ladies. We're not going to do the boots on the ground line dance with the fans. With the fans. Well, the fans. Have you ever seen it?
Are you saying men shouldn't have fans?
Listen, it's a line dance, and they have the fans. Chinese fans, and they pop the fans and they do a little dance to fans.
Okay.
And I've seen a couple of you brothers out there. Fans with the little Chinese
you ain't see a couple of little brothers out there with those things, did you? What?
Oh yeah. I wish I could play some videos. We gotta get better production going on here, Myron. But
yeah, that's true.
Brothers, lead the fans to the ladies. You could do the dance.
Man, this guy right here.
Listen.
Man.
I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm in the Midwest. Line dancing is a big thing in the Midwest. So I ain't saying do the line. I ain't saying you can't do the line dance. Enjoy it. Have some fun. But when they start popping them fans, I better not see none of y'all brothers out there.
Can they at least do the motion with the hand?
No. because it's a zesty motion. It's like, like no.
It's a zesty motion. See, that's really what you're trying to come at, though. That's really what you're trying to get.
It's a zesty motion.
You're trying to get that motion.
So listen, when it comes to the fan part, just do a little fist pump, like yeah, or something like that. Just don't start waving your body and doing. Yeah, we ain't doing all that.
You do that pretty good, though. By the way, I just want to throw that out there.
That's an example, but we ain't doing all that. We just gonna do a little fist pump. While we doing the line dance. All right. So first one, boots on the ground. Brothers, lead the fans to the ladies. I don't want to see y'all doing a little fan thing. Lead the fans to the ladies. Y'all shouldn't be carrying around no fans anyway. I shouldn't have no fans anyway. What's wrong with y'all?
So what does a man do when it gets hot?
Listen, Myron, if I'm out with you and if we chilling, and if you pull out one of those little Chinese fans and start fanning yourself, I'm gonna smack it out your hand, bro. Don't have no Chinese fan around. Anyway, question number 2. It's a question, man, for the chat, right? What is the appropriate length of shorts for a man going into the summer, man? What is the appropriate length of shorts for the man? I know last couple summers, brothers was doing the extra high joints, the extra high joints, you know what I'm saying? Extra high joints, which is cool. But then coming around, this summer, in the hotter states, we've been rocking the longer joints, the real long joints. You're going back to like the 90s, wearing the jorts, the jean shorts, the long joints. It came back in fashion. Everything spins back around, which is cool, but I'm stuck, right? Because it's like, I don't want to wear no ultra high shorts. And I also don't want to wear the shorts. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
I'm an older guy. I ain't old, but I'm in my 40s.
No,
So I ain't trying to.
I'm like this one right here. This
Yeah,
is I
I'm
need
in my
give me some.
40s.
I'm
I'm
with
in
you
my
on this.
40s,
I'm with
right?
you.
So I ain't trying to be out there with the young boys wearing the George extra long shorts. Nah, man. I'm trying to wear a appropriate short
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
summer, right?
yeah.
So I don't want to go too short. I don't want to go too long. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm just trying to figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? So about a couple shorts at H&M and Zara's. Trying them on. I'm just trying to figure it out, man. Try to help me out if y'all want to jump in there in the comments. What is the appropriate length of shorts for a man going into 2020?
It got to be just above the knee.
See, but is that too long? Because I don't want to look like Unc out there. I am.
No. I ain't saying. Well, yes,
look like
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I said just above the knee.
Just above the knee. That's a little long.
Body type matters too, though.
Maybe mid thigh.
I like mid thigh. I like mid thigh.
Might be the move. Yeah,
depends on the occasion where we're going.
Right.
Mid thigh is not good if I'm at a basketball game, and I'm watching the Atlanta Hawks play, or I don't want to wear. I don't care how hot it is. I shouldn't have the mid thigh, especially in Atlanta.
So are you? Oh, so you're saying longer than mid thigh is where you're going, just above the knee.
It just depends on where I am and what's going on. Like it could fit in certain stuff. I'm on a cruise ship. Anything goes. Anything goes.
Depends. DJ just said depends on the bill. That is true. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little
bill matters, bro.
I'm a little bit of a stockier guy. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I just seen some little stockier guys rock the little above the knee joints. And they look. Pause. It looks good on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a personal preference, but I'm
okay. Camille is saying 3 inches.
3 inches.
I think I agree with that. I think 3 inches above the knee is the sweet spot. I agree with that.
Yeah, 3 inches above the knee.
I'm talking about the top of the knee. Yeah, that's a sweet spot.
Yeah,
you could always be good.
Yeah, we're not going high upper thigh. That's like runner's short length. Yeah, I know brothers been doing it, wearing tighter shorts too. What's it called? The hoochie daddy shorts. I'm not hoochie daddy in short doing that. You know what I'm saying? I know
you know, man.
Thing to do,
if our bodies we're talking about the average dude that's in between his dad bod. Come on, he's not at his best. Yeah. He's not where he used to be. We're talking about the dude who's been married. He's got some kids. He's working out every day to try to get back to where he was. That guy there.
Yeah, that's me.
But then there's these other guys out there. You know who I'm talking about. These are the guys, man, that look like they was born. You know what I'm saying? It's straight out of some Marvel comic joint, man. Their bodies stay flawless. They can wear just about anything.
I don't know if they get a pass, man. I don't
these
know.
Models online, they be putting on these wild, and it just be like, why ain't that joint? I'm gonna give you a prime example. I never thought I would say this, but man, I'm starting to see that you can get you some wide leg pants, and them wide leg pants will look good. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Remember when Katina Mobley was at the conference?
Yes,
he had them. I said.
He had to, but listen.
I couldn't even lie. I said,
listen, he was wearing them joints though. There was a slim thigh and had the bell on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Bell bottom joints. He was wearing them.
But he's 6'4". He's 6'4".
Yeah.
He's got the athletic build,
and he was wearing it with confidence too.
You know and the attitude matters.
Hey, hold up. You can't say 6'4", man, because Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl, he had on a little bell bottom, flared out joints that went viral. That's true. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not saying they're back. Bell bottoms are back, bro. Wide leg is back.
I ain't doing it. I'm cool.
Don't you be wearing those skinny jeans?
Nah, man. See, fashion changes so
Slim
much.
Fit either. We on straight leg now. That's where we are. And the straight leg is always in. It never goes out. You got to stay straight leg all day. Put a little cuff at the bottom of them joints. Don't have them
not with your jeans, man.
Huh?
Not with your jeans. You ain't cuffing your jeans, brother. You ain't.
I always cuff my jeans at the bottom.
That's because you be doing weird stuff, man.
Man. You know what? I like to double flip them, show a little sock, and show the kicks. That's
you doing
bro.
weird stuff, bro.
No, it's not.
You doing weird
Bro,
stuff.
don't look weird and have your stuff all crunched up at the bottom.
No, you're supposed to just, you're supposed to have that cut, so you don't bunch up over your sneakers and you don't got to cuff them. They're like, don't go too long on the leg.
Fold them one time.
You be out there looking like Huckleberry Finn, man.
You don't fold yours. You don't fold yours one time.
No, I don't fold my G's. I get the proper length that's going to stop right at the top of my sneakers and give me a little, little cut in there.
Nah, bro, you
be out there looking like Huckleberry Finn, bro. You be out there
straight up. You put a little backpack on there with the proper cap. That's the 5-sided cap. Nice hoodie.
You wear a backpack out there. You wear a
shout
backpack.
Shout out to AD Sneaks on Instagram. This guy, he wears a different pair of sneakers. He's a middle school teacher. He wears a different pair of sneakers.
He was killing them.
But his fits be fly. Like the way he dresses, I'm like, that's my style right there. I like the way he be rocking.
I'm 6'4", 220. My wife likes a tighter fit. Yeah. Baggies. Well, I want to say baggy. Okay.
Don't say tighter.
Baggies not out. Baggies not out.
Don't say tighter. Say fitted. Tell them don't say tighter. Say fitted. Tight is one thing. Fitted.
Right.
What's another word for fitted? Custom, bespoke.
Yeah.
Tailored. Not tighter. Don't say tighter, bro.
Baggy is in for the young boys, though. Baggy is in for the young boys. Not for me though. I'm not wearing no crazy.
I'm rocking a little baggy.
See, it's because you
rocking a little baggy. You jealous? You made me mad. Anyway, let's talk sports and culture.
Yeah, definitely.
Brother, I just saw a report the other day, and I don't know why it just. I probably shouldn't be responding the way I am, but anyway, for whatever the reason, wide receiver. What's his name? What's your boy's name? Cardi B's was supposed to be her boyfriend.
What's his name?
Stefon Diggs, man.
Stefon Diggs, yeah.
So Stefon Diggs plays for the Patriots now. Used to play for the Vikings and then moved on to Buffalo.
Right.
Anyway, now he's just a meme now, man. He used to be a baller back in the day. Had some great moments. His brother plays for the Cowboys, but recently he was on social media trending in the moves. Miami. So he's dating Cardi B, allegedly, reportedly. They've been seen out in different places. But most recently, the brother was seen on Memorial Day weekend on a boat party, surrounded by some women that he was telling them to call him daddy. Wow. He pulled out an unknown pink substance in a plastic bag that cocaine are saying is that pink cocaine, which I believe is a mixture of cocaine and MDMA, better known as Molly or ecstasy or what have you. I think I got that right. I'm not sure. And anyway, I don't know what to make of this because some people feel like the people in the media are overreacting. But I don't think it's an overreaction based on the message of our podcast. But it's just kind of like, what are these athletes doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Like we already know. First of all, Shannon Sharpe should be an example. But I guess people feel like they can do this stuff and just get away with it enough. I want to say this: if I'm an athlete, I'm doing everything I possibly can. It's going to take a lot for a lot of athletes, but this is my take. If I'm an athlete, I'm doing everything I possibly can to find me a wife.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna tell you why. If I got a wife, then that means I'm in good company. I'm LeBron James. I'm Kobe Bryant.
Right.
I'm SGA. I understand that Shea Gildress Alexander got him a wife. All right. For whatever reason, it seems like the best players have wives. The ones that have the most money have wives.
That's a good take.
The ones with the most stable lifestyle have wives.
Good take.
Now, some will say, well, Jordan was married and his wife, blah, blah, blah. But he's still doing good. He got him another wife. Magic Johnson.
And y'all ain't Jordan.
And y'all ain't Jordan. Magic Johnson got him a wife. I'm sure you can pick some examples of guys who don't or whatever, but I'm saying the ones that don't, they get in trouble, man. And you don't understand, you young boys. Since when did you think you can go anywhere? I don't care what kind of NDA they're signing. I don't care if you bro, cameras are everywhere. And you gonna pull out some booger sugar. I just don't get it, bro. Am I old fashioned? Maybe that's what I am. I don't know. Help me understand this, Jay. What is happening with these young boys? How many stories do they have to see of athletes losing everything over some dumb stuff? I don't get it. Help me out.
I mean, he had to know that he was being recorded, man. Like the video was too close and too, too much in your face for you not to know that you're being recorded. I don't know if somebody had on those meta glasses or I don't know. But dude, some of these dudes
that is true.
Some of these dudes just think that they just invincible, man. They just think that they could just do anything, bro. Like, when you get to a certain point of the bag, you have to protect it at all costs.
These dudes ain't protecting no bag.
Protect the bag at all.
They ain't protecting the bag, bro.
Right. And he is well off. He got a couple meals behind him, definitely. But I mean, dude, you don't want to lose them all, and you don't want to lose your chance of a team picking you up in the future, or even the Patriots even keeping you because of character problems. So I don't know, man. A lot of these dudes just think that they could just do anything and get away with it, or they just don't care, whatever. But hey, man, you got to say
he's might be worth about 60 million. But so this goes to this goes to another point, and it's something is different about this generation of athletes. And I'm not trying to be the old school guy that's like hating on these guys because they're very talented, But yesterday, when the Minnesota Timberwolves got put out with a gentleman's sweep, 4-1 by the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They asked your boy, what's the boy's name? Anthony Edwards. In the post game, he was sitting next to Mike Conley, who's from Ohio, went to Ohio State, longtime NBA veteran. Anyway, they sit next to each other. They asked the boy, they said, "Yo, man, basically, how does it feel to lose?" And your boy was like, your boy said, basically, he was like, "Yo, I ain't really tripping because I'm young and I got many more opportunities at this." While he's saying this next to the guy who doesn't have many more opportunities at this. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it just shows that, bro, he don't see how hard it is. And somebody brought out this point. They were saying, yo, remember, OKC said the same thing when they lost to the Miami Heat back in the day. And none of those guys, except Durant, was able to get back.
Right.
None of those guys were able to get back. And it's just, YNs, I don't know, these guys just immature. And they don't realize that they can lose everything and that the windows for opportunity. And so that's why the behavior is the way we see it, why they say the stuff they say it. And then here's the thing. These dudes making too much money to want to win.
You know what? You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, like, these athletes nowadays, they don't really care. Well, to me, what I can see, they don't really care too much about winning. They just want the bag. They want the bag.
And they got a super big bag. Like the bag is otherworldly.
Listen. To them, the bag is winning. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all they really. To me, what I can see is that's all they really care about is how much money they could net up. So
you ever heard of a wide receiver? Think about this: a wide receiver who has made $135 million in a football career. That's Stefon Diggs, and he's mid right now. He's not even that good. Anthony Edwards. His net worth, let me see his net worth right now.
What Google say?
Anthony Edwards' net worth. And this dude been in the league how many years? They say he worth like $40 million. Now, that he ain't going to stay there. He's probably going to be eligible for the Supermax in a little bit, and he's going to be making $300 million, barring anything. But here's the thing. He think he good now. He don't see that he got that Luka contract on the way, the $365 million, he's going to get that deal. Bro, This dude got 6 kids by 6 different baby mamas. He's gonna have to split that joint up. He's gonna have to split that joint up every which way.
He got 6. Hold on, he got 6 different baby mamas.
Let me see. I'm tell you right now.
What these dudes be doing, man? What they be doing, bro? 6 different baby mamas.
Okay. Anthony Edwards. I stand corrected. Anthony Edwards is the father of 4 children with 4 different women.
What's the difference? 2 more kids, that's crazy. These dudes is nuts. So, man.
But in fairness, old school ballers were doing the same things. They said that the NBA in the 80s was nothing but a cocaine tour. Like dudes was out there wilding, blah, 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 blah. I'm saying there's nothing new under the sun. But I will say this is that these kids now seem like they have much more to lose.
Yeah.
Meaning they have all this money and they could lose the money. They could lose their reputation. Because look, social media world now, like all this stuff could be lost in a moment. Shannon Sharp, P. Diddy, look at all of these people. They're just crazy. Did you think about this? 3 years ago, do you think we would ever be talking about Diddy like this?
Dude. Like,
maybe.
You know what though?
I don't know if I would have thought of him going to prison.
Like, man, going out bad like that. Like, I would have never thought that P. Diddy would be going bad out the way he's going bad out, bro. Like he is crashing and burning. It's over for him. It's crazy because I was reading something. It's like, that whole East Coast, West Coast beef, and it's crazy because Suge and Diddy both in jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's wild.
That is true. Do you think drug use, for whatever reason, it seems like I'm just talking to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think drugs is like I'm talking about the hard recreational drugs is increasing?
I think hard drug use is acceptable now.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Growing up in the 90s, if you ever brought out some cocaine to me, I'd be like, bro, you tripping. Like, what's wrong with you? You tripping, bro. Like, cocaine, get that out of here,
Yes.
Now it's acceptable. I was just watching one video.
Good point.
I was watching one video online, and Kodak Black, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was just talking about he's just talking about his meth habit. He's like, young dude with a meth habit. I was just like, what?
In his song.
We doing meth now? Like, in the Black community, we're doing meth. Meth is like acceptable now. Like, man, listen.
I heard meth is the most addictive drug on the planet. It's the hardest drug to get off of. Man. It destroys everything, destroys how you look, destroys your life, takes everything from you, leaves. Man. That's crazy.
So it's just like, things that we didn't accept in our culture growing up in the 90s, it's like cool to do now. Like,
say no to drugs.
Right. The only thing that we would probably do, man, is probably like roll a little weed up, you know what I'm saying? And that be it, But even if you brought out hash and stuff like that, back in the day, we look at you sideways, like, bro, what are you doing? But it seems like that stuff is acceptable now. Even the weed is like all the different forms of weed, man. Now dudes is doing dabs and vaping. It's all acceptable now. It's just a different time.
What I got in my mind? Time. That commercial. The dude pulls out the frying pan. He puts it on the thing. He turns up the gas. He cracks the egg.
This
he
is your brain on drugs, bro.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Man, it's what? It's just a different time with these young people, even spiritually, man. Even spiritually, like growing up in the 90s, like Satanism, and witchcraft, and upside down crosses, like we would be like, bro, you tripping. Get that out of there, bro. Like, you tripping, bro. Like, we don't do
trending
that.
Now. It's fad. It's style.
Now it's like cool to wear an upside down cross and to rip up the Bible and roll joints in the Bible and say that you're a Satanist and it's just crazy, man. It's just different time, man. These kids are growing up in a very wicked, different time, man. And it's like the more wicked it is, the more acceptable it is, man.
Okay, hold on. So we're not wrong, brother. It says globally, the number of individuals reporting drug use disorders has increased.
Yeah.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the UNODC, reported a 23% rise in the estimated number of people using drugs worldwide since 2021. And these are specifically on hard recreational drugs. We're talking opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, fentanyl, you name it. So,
oh yeah, man, we didn't even talk about the pills like Perks and Percocet, Molly Perkins. Like, the pills is in now. Pills is in now, man. In the 90s, we wasn't really doing no pills. I'll tell you, the only thing we would have is some St. Ives, some Colt 45 maybe, and a joint or two, and then everybody was cool. But now, man, you go to a party nowadays, man, with these young kids, they bringing out pink cocaine, Percocets, meth, in the black
cocaine.
In the black community.
I know, for real. And you know why? Because you grew up in the 90s during the crack epidemic.
Yeah,
and I think so many of us were afraid and terrified. We had aunts and uncles who were crackheads, and we saw what a crackhead was and what crack can do to families. And a lot of us had to shoulder that. A lot of us, I have crackheads in my family. You had crackheads in your family. We saw people for years, they couldn't get over crack.
We made fun of the neighborhood crackhead.
Heroin.
Dance. We used to make fun of the neighborhood crackhead, man.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be a crackhead.
Nobody wanted to be the neighborhood crackhead, man.
Now,
outside the liquor store, give him $1 and he do the butterfly or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? We would be like, man, crack is crack.
Okay.
What? Crack is whack, right? That's what we used to say. But yeah, man.
Pink cocaine, a mixture of substances, which is dyed pink, produces mind-altering. Oh man, it's MDMA. Ugh. Called 2C. I didn't know that. Listen, we need to pray, man, for our kids and pray for this generation. And the mind-altering substances, the wild lifestyle, the rock and roll, hardcore lifestyles that we saw in the 70s and the 60s that went white. Do you know that there's a whole thing on celebrities, especially musicians and actors, that died at 27 years old? Have you seen? There's been whole documentaries. Have you seen that? I'm gonna tell you right now, all these people who are dying at like 27, all the celebrities that died at 27 years old, and they all died of like drug overdoses and stuff like that. And they were all like musicians, and they were at the top. It's called 27 Club. And there's a long Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, who was a part of the Doors. Kurt Cobain, you remember that name? Amy Winehouse, you know her. It's a long list of these people, man.
Something just dawned on me.
What's that?
Here in Cleveland, MGK, man, Machine Gun Kelly, his spot downtown is called the 27 Coffee Club, and the logo is a skeleton head. And so I was always thinking, like, why is it called the 27 Coffee Club and it's a skeleton head as a logo? And there you go. That makes sense because he's in the
I really don't even want to go down this rabbit hole, but I mean, what is the significance of 27? I mean, this now my heart is starting to beat a little bit. But anyway, what they're saying is that basically all of these people that died, they died to substance abuse, mental health struggles, tragic accidents.
At 27.
At 27.
Yeah, that's why his logo is that skeleton head, the death logo.
I don't know. Listen, guys, we're not, the point this all started because we're talking about Anthony Edwards. We talk about this generation that seems to have no limits, right? The partying, the drugs, the money that they're making. I saw a good documentary, Jay. I want to highly recommend it on Netflix. It's called, now I can't remember. Vinny. It's called Vinny Jr. It's about the best player in soccer right now. Young black boy from Brazil. Bro, you got to see that. He's the best soccer player in the world. Soccer, that's the cult fan, but it just shows his lifestyle. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He's locked into his career. He's surrounded by the right people, but he's surrounded by a group of friends. Kind of reminds you of LeBron James. And LeBron is kind of his idol, but it just shows how disciplined he is, how focused he is, like crazy, bro. And I'm like, people don't understand. This is what it takes in order to
be successful.
Not only get the bag, anybody can get the bag, but to be able to keep that joint. Yeah. You got to be different because the bag doesn't change people, but it definitely exposes who they are. Jay, who would you be if you had a couple 100 million at 17, 18, 19, 20, 23 years old?
Man, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. You know, it's crazy because we were just talking about this. A friend of mine, it was like, man, if you had $100 million, you know, what type of person would you be? And I told him, I was like, I would probably be the same person, probably more recluse because I'm scared of losing it because I know how it feels to be broke. And if you get a chance not to be broke no more and have $100 million in your pocket, I'm going to do whatever in my realm possible, whatever I could do in my life. I'm going to do whatever possible to keep that money. I ain't gonna go out here and go crazy, wilding out, doing all this crazy because that's how you lose it. That's how you lose it, and then you be right back. Can you imagine?
Whatever you're doing now with your money is what you're gonna do with your money later.
Can you imagine being broke? Like, bro, I'm talking about $100 in your bank account. You get up to $100 million in your bank account. Crazy assets, houses, cars, boats. Up. I'm talking about up. And then you lose it all and have $100 back in your bank account.
This joint happens all the time with athletes. And this happens all the time. That's why they go into depression. That's why they end up killing themselves. That's why they beat up their spouses and they get all that stardom and all that money and then they out of the league in 4 years, they lose it all, they make some dumb decision, they blow everything.
Ain't no way.
They never knew who they were.
Ain't no way, man.
If you don't know who you are, anyway. Bro, and this is a great segue into our subject today. That's a great question, Jay. Listen, man. God be using you, bro, because you know what to say, when to say it. So this is why dudes feel so like, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest. This is why dudes feel so accomplished when they make money. When they finally make money. I remember the first time I made more money than my wife, which is pretty much a big deal because my wife was a dentist. But I had a couple good years, and I made more money than my wife. And you
was up, huh? You was up.
Oh, bro, I walk differently in the house, bro. And it's funny because I'm the guy who's always preaching and telling guys, not about how much money you make and 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 then when it happened. I was feeling myself a little bit, and but mainly I was feeling accomplished. I'm like, man, I finally
proud
did
of yourself.
Yeah, proud of myself. And listen, especially when it comes to finance is important, fellas. Managing your money is important. Making money is a great accomplishment in this world. Most people don't do it, so we get that. However, I think a lot of it is connected to the fact that we as men connect our value to what we can provide. And brother, that sent me on a little journey. Let me on a little study journey. I'm a theologian at heart. Don't let the hoodie and the cap. Listen, brother, I still know how to rightly divide the word, man. I still know a little Greek, a little Hebrew. And you know what I thought, Jay? I said, I realized something. I said, oh, snap. There is not one scripture in the Bible that actually says that the main role or that the role of the man is to be a provider. And then I know what y'all saying out there. I know what you're saying. You're saying to me, well, what about First Timothy 8? You don't mind me, Jason. I'm not gonna do a whole
word, brother.
But I just want to. I know what they're saying out there. They're saying, how can you say that? The Bible doesn't say that a man is supposed to be provider. I was taught that my whole life, that men are providers. And how can you say that when you ignoring First Timothy 8? First Timothy 8, what does it say? The Bible says, but if anyone does not provide for his relatives, especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Well, brother, I had to go study this and I had to look at the context. And the context of this is really not about the role of a man. It's
See,
a
hold on,
role
wait,
about
stop right there.
yeah.
Because a lot of y'all be doing that. A lot of
Yeah,
y'all
they
just
do.
be reading the word and grabbing what you want to grab out of it. You got to get the whole context around the scripture. A lot of y'all just be
The
grabbing, picking and
context of
choosing
this,
what y'all want.
the context of this is for the entire church, for
Mm,
men and women. And when you look in the original language, because church people have a tendency to do that. Church folk will
mhm,
be at church, they taking care of church folk,
right.
but they forget their own families.
Mm,
But the original language doesn't even have a gender specific. It's not like a man. It's anyone. That's why the Bible says, if anyone does not provide for his relatives. And then I looked
mhm,
up the word provide. And I saw
mhm,
that the word provide does not mean going to work, getting a paycheck and bringing it
mhm,
home. The word provide simply means to have a vision,
mm,
to be concerned, to
mm,
care. It's
mm,
everybody's responsibility to have a vision, to be concerned, and to
right,
care for one another. You can't
right,
say that's just a man's job. That's
right.
that's that's a man's and a woman's job. My wife hold me down. She's concerned about me. She thinks ahead. She, as a matter of fact, Jay, she asked me this morning. She was like, "Honey, am I a doer or am I a thinker?" And I said, "Oh, you definitely a thinker.
Mm,
She thinks ahead. I'm a doer. I don't think. I move. She thinks ahead. We helping each other.
mhm,
So then Jay, I said, let me. This is what I believe, and now I'm building this together. I'm putting this together on the
come
fly.
on, come on.
But I know my word, Jay.
Mhm,
And there's a rule in the Bible. It's called the law of first mention,
mm,
meaning if you want to understand something, go to where it's first mentioned or introduced, and then that will give you an insight on what it's for. So, for example, if you really want to know what Facebook is about,
mhm.
man, go and talk to Zuckerberg and ask him when he first introduced Facebook, what was
What
the
was it?
purpose of Facebook? What was the purpose of YouTube? First mention. So
Mhm.
where is man first mentioned? Genesis 1 and 2.
Yes,
So
sir.
I don't got time, but I'll tell you this. Anything you want to understand about God's intention for humanity, men
It's in
and women, is in Genesis
Genesis.
1 and 2.
Yeah, there it is.
Anything after Genesis 1 and 2 is sin. That's sin came in Genesis 3 all the way to Revelation 22. So everything after that is God restoring man back to Genesis 1 and 2.
Mhm,
The whole purpose of Genesis 1 and 2 is to create the perfect lifestyle for human beings.
mm.
This is how I want y'all to live. This is what I want life to look like for you. Everything after that is God trying to get us back to there. All right. So if that makes sense, let me say this. So show me where the Bible says that the man is provider. Please show me that. Please show me that where it says that the man's role, his primary role, is to get him a job and work and put food on the table. Bro, let me tell you, that is so, the problem with that has created such toxic relationships. It's
Mm,
created unnecessary pressure on men. And bro,
mm.
I'm gonna just read this to you. Now I'm gonna shut up. Let me just read something that
I
God
think
gave you, boy.
like
Let me just
I,
read this. Let me just read this.
I,
And I'm gonna get out of the way because I
go
know
ahead,
what
go
they're
ahead.
asking. Listen, here it is. Here
No,
it
no,
is. This is what I'm saying.
go ahead.
God didn't place Adam in Eden to be provider.
Mhm,
Think about that. He placed him there to be a steward.
mm,
Provision was already made. The garden was already grown. The rivers were already flowing. God never intended for men to carry the weight of being the source,
mm.
only to manage what he had already supplied.
Right.
When men assume the role of provider, they
Mhm.
step out of dependence on God and into a pressure they were
Mm,
never built to bear. Come on.
man. Hold on. Wait.
Let's
Let's
that
just
soak
let
in.
that settle. Let's just let that settle in. Let's just let that settle. Let's just get at
I'm
a
not a
quick
provider.
perspective.
I'm a steward.
Yeah.
I'm a manager. God, what are you saying? What do I provide? I don't provide anything. It was already
Because the thing
here.
is, when you take on the role of provider, you're actually taking away a little bit of what Christ is supposed to do for you. Christ is the provider. Christ is
He's
the man.
already provided.
Yeah. And recently, I'm not gonna lie. Recently, my relationship with Christ just took a upward swing because I just took on the
Come on,
bare
Jay.
bones. I just took on the bare bones basement belief that God got me. Period.
Ooh.
Like I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be anxious. The Bible says, be anxious for nothing. Like, I don't have to worry about how things are going to happen because God got me. Like, I was talking to my boy a couple of weeks ago. Ryan, man, my boy Ryan, we're always talking to Ryan about the Lord. But he's just thriving on that. Like, my daddy got me. My daddy got me. I'm walking in faith. I'm good because I know the Lord is going to always have my back. Why am I worried? The Lord's going to have my back. Even if I fall, he's going to pick me up. All that I have to do is foster our relationship with God, pray, stay in my word, and God got me. When you have that mindset, a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just worry lifts up off you. Even in my work, man, I was just like, because I have a job where I have to do a lot and be everywhere and perform. I have a metric-driven job. Like, I got to perform. My metrics are there. We know how good you're doing off of the metrics. It's not just, whimsy. And every day I got to go and I got to perform. And I'm just, oh, man, I'm worried about how this is going to go. I'm worried about how that's going to go. God got me. God got me. I'm good. I'm going to do my part. But God got me. And so when we take on that role of provider, you're like, I got to make a way for my family, well and doubt. We ain't saying don't go out there and work and provide. We ain't saying just laying in your bed all day and get up and be like, oh yeah, God got me. No. You got to work. You got to work. You got to do your part. Do your part and God's going to do the rest. Do your part and God is going to do the rest.
So the question is, what is man's part? And this is the point I want to really get in the minds of these men. And I appreciate you saying that because, bro, we always need to be reminded the temptation of most men is to always get in God's way. We be stressed out about stuff we don't need to be stressed out about. And many of us, case in point, this whole man as provider thing, this is what it has produced, Jay, that 60% of divorces of marriages are ending in divorce. And the main reason is work-related stress, work-life balance issues, lack of emotional intimacy. We don't got time for each other because we're too busy working. Working fathers now spend only 7 hours a week in meaningful interaction with their children. Men are 3 to 5 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Our kids are sharply increasing in anxiety and depression since 2010 because they have fatherless homes with fathers in them. Our kids are emotionally dysregulated. They got poor academic outcomes. They're addicted to screens and porn, and they have low resilience, meaning they crash out on the slightest things, mainly because we at work, because we got to provide. Now, I'm not saying that we should not work. What I'm saying is that you should stop associating your identity as a provider. Your identity is what the Bible says is a cultivator. That's what the Bible says in Genesis 2. It says man was to work the ground. The ground was already provided to cultivate the ground, right? So what does that mean? That means I take what God has given and I make the best out of it. And I just don't cultivate things, I cultivate people. Whatever comes in my presence ought to get better, ought to be multiplied, ought to be developed, ought to be increased. But the only thing that men concern themselves with is working and with capitalism. And then we feel like we can go home and just let our wives, take care of the children.
Come to me,
like, we ain't having no worship. We ain't leading our family spiritually. We're not speaking into their life. We're not casting no vision. And you don't never hear nobody say that the number one role of that the main responsibility of a man is he's supposed to cast vision for his family. Nah, people was ready to stone me because I said a man is not provider. Come on, what are we talking about here? Y'all don't got no scriptures for this stuff. Y'all just be talking based upon stuff that people told y'all.
Society. So
if a man gets sick, and he can't work anymore, is he no longer a man? So think about what you're saying. And they go, oh, well, no, he's still a man. No, my identity is not provider. God is the provider. The scripture says that he is Jehovah Jireh, my provider. And men need to believe that because too many brothers is crashing out, Jay, because they feel like everything is on them. And it's not on you.
You're saying good stuff, man. You can't put stewardship over, you can't put providing over stewardship, bro. You can't. because you have to be a good steward of what God provides, right? So when you go ahead and take on that role of, okay, I'm gonna provide everything for my family, you're taking a focus off of Christ being there for you to provide, So
My man says he begs to differ. My brother, you better bring some scripture around here. And I know Auntie Ellen, you got to bring some scripture. And you just acknowledged what you said. You said caretaker. See, you have to understand what I'm saying. Just let me ask you this question. Who is the provider? You or God? Let's just use your common sense for a second. Provider. Who is it? Is it you or is it God? Jay, who is it? Are you the provider or is God? Because it could only be one of them. Only one of us can be the provider. Either he's a provider or I'm the provider. And what am I providing? I'm not providing. It's already here. All I'm doing is cultivating it. All I'm doing is stewarding what he has given me.
See,
what are we talking
about? I just think it's a
culture,
tricky,
man.
It's a tricky thing, man, because we have to play that middle ground of what I'm gonna provide and what Christ is gonna provide. And I think because of society and what society says about the man's role in the home, I think that's where it gets dicey. Just like we keep on saying, you got to do your part. We ain't saying lay in a bed all day and not work and just think that God is
we're not saying that,
provide
Brother
for your
Lamont.
house. No, but what it is you got to find that middle ground. You got to find a middle ground, and you can't put so much trust in yourself. You got to trust in God. That's where it comes in at. You can't just think that you're gonna push this thing over the ledge. You're gonna run this family. Of course you are, but you got to put some trust in God. That's where it gets, people just got to find that middle ground. You understand what we're saying?
Lamont, what I'm saying is, he says, thanks for the correction, preacher. Does God provide for us to provide for others? Bro, to me, that's semantics, but it's not. So I just want to be clear. When we say provider in our context, what are we talking about, Jay? We talking about going to work and getting a check so that we can, in many cases, give the money to our wives so they can go buy groceries and stuff like that. Putting the roof, clothes, blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying is,
but if that's all you providing, then shame on you, brother.
Shame on you. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying brothers are clinging to that as their main role. And I'm saying that's weak. Bro, you could be doing that and not fulfilling your role as a man because you are neglecting vision. You are neglecting cultivation. You are not a good steward. You do not manage resources well. The people in your life are not getting better. They're not increasing. You're not being fruitful and multiplying. These are all things. You're supposed to be the image of God. You're supposed to have dominion. All of these things are in the scriptures. And then y'all just pull out provider. And then it ain't even in there. Because it's easy. It's easy to go to work and bring home a check, but it's hard to speak into your wife's life and to speak and lead your family spiritually. Come on, bro. What are we talking about?
Man.
I'm saying this should set brothers free. But what I found is just by saying this, it just creates frustration because it's stuff that people have been taught their whole life, Jay. They've been taught their whole life that I'm the provider. So you got some dudes, they ego can't take it when their wife make more money. Or their ego can't take it when they lose their job. When they don't got no job, they don't got no identity. Bro, I promise you right now, and I say this, I said, bro, if I lost my job and I wasn't bringing no money in, guess what? I'm still the man in this house. In the sense that my family still respects me because my value here has been, I have created a value for myself in my home that's beyond money.
Hey, that's why it's so important, brothers. Let me scoot up a little closer. That's why it's so important who you marry and what they value. Because when I went through a rough spot, my wife didn't say, broke boy, what we gonna do now? How we gonna do this? She said, we good.
It's a lot of women that be saying that too.
It's a lot of women that if you can't provide the bag, then your value goes down. If you can't provide the bag, then what type of man are you? How are you going to be a good father? How are you going to be a good husband? We put all that value on money. And then when it's gone, you feel like you're worthless. That's not the person who you really want to be with. You want to be the person. You want to be with the person that if it all goes down, they're like, we good. God got us. We'll be right back up. I ain't saying don't go apply. I ain't saying don't go and try to find a new job. What I'm saying is we all right. Your value does not change in this home because of how much money you bring in. You got to be with somebody that's going to cultivate that and build. That's the foundation. The foundation of your home is not money.
It can't be, but it is for many people. It is.
The foundation of your home is not money. The foundation of your home is the character that you put in there.
Facts. My man Reggie, what up, bro? He says, how do you know if you've created a value beyond money I get what he's saying. If you never had money. I think I understand what you're saying, but I'll put it like this. I know my value based upon what my family says my value is. So for example, I'll give you a prime example. My father-in-law, he passed. May God rest his soul. Jay, you know him very well. He was an amazing, quote unquote, provider, meaning he was a traditional Jamaican man. He went to work every day. He worked all day long. He provided, he owned houses, and he did all that type of stuff. However, later on in his life, because of illness, and we had to take care of him. Come on in here, somebody. We started realizing a different value with him. I think he only saw that as his value. I think he saw himself as the vending machine because that's where he came from. But when he got sick and he couldn't do it anymore, I could see that kind of had and he retired, he couldn't work anymore. That kind of did something to him. But man, his presence, his wisdom, his the atmosphere, that's even hard to. So when he died, we weren't like, oh man, we ain't getting no money anymore. We was like, we miss him. We miss his leadership. We miss his presence. We miss his personality. And what I'm saying is we should never tie our identity to something that can be taken from us.
Hold on, wait. Say that one more time, because
we should never tie our identity to something that can be taken from us. And the world says that you are so and so, you this, that, and the third. If you have, but I don't believe that. I believe it starts with be, do, then have. I am so and so, so I do this, and that's why I have that. But it all starts with be. That's why the word says the first responsibility of Adam is that he was to bear the image of God. That's my role. My role is to reflect God. What is God? God is love. And when Eve came into the picture, Jay, she came into the picture of a man who was in the presence of God. I cultivate the presence. I create an atmosphere where things grow, where things develop, that's my role. You can't define me by no job.
Because when it's gone,
man, get the hell out of here.
Because when it's
out of here.
Because when it's gone,
more than a job.
Because when it's gone, who are you?
Then who am I? And that's what a lot of brothers be dealing with. And you know what's crazy? Because when you look in Proverbs, let me say this real quick. When you look in Proverbs 31,
you're cooking.
Proverbs 31.
Let me get the camera. Go ahead.
Hold on. No. Come back. I gotta have somebody to talk to. Let me just say this. Proverbs 31 is that, it's the virtuous woman, right? That's the ideal woman. Well, what does it say about this ideal woman? It talks about how her husband, the heart of her husband trusts in her. Watch this. And he will have no lack of gain, meaning she's not going to be a taker. She's going to be a giver. Now, I'm not going to read all this, but it talks about how she's a moneymaker, how she has businesses that are profitable. Verse 18, how she gives to the poor, how she manages her household. And blah, 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 blah. And bro, she's a businesswoman. Both of us are bringing those aspects together. But you got these dudes out here, just like the athletes, they think they made it because they got the bag. And then when they lose the bag, then what happens?
Then who are you? See, but look, that's the thing, man. That's why I keep saying, like, We have to pull out from what's going on in society, because society, if you don't got the bag, you ain't nobody. I see videos all the time on Instagram. If I'm not dating no man that don't make $100,000, I ain't dating no man that ain't make.
Shut your stinking mouth. You sound stupid.
I see it all the time.
Oh,
I see it all the time.
oh.
But the question is, okay, he make $250,000. What else does he do for you? What type of man is he? You know, how does he treat you? Does he pray for you? Is he gonna be there for you? Can you rely on him for more than just money? You know, women, I mean, society is just really harping on that. You got to make this much money to be the type of man to be valued, right? And we're not saying that you got to be broke out here. You know, the Lord wants you to prosper.
If you're a good manager, then you will. Come on. Think about it. And that's not just money. Are you managing your time, your body? You being slick. You finessing. You getting away with some stuff. Oh, you think because you got a job and you got an education, you bringing a check that you doing your job. You ain't doing nothing, bro. Come on, stop it. You ain't doing nothing, man.
That's a small piece of the pie. That's a small piece of the pie. You gotta have the whole pie. You just can't have a small piece and just think that that's going to be valued over everything else in the household. And just like MyRon said, we trying to free some of you brothers, man. We trying to free y'all.
Trying to free these boys, man.
We trying to free y'all boys, man. We trying to free y'all. Listen, don't let no woman place value on you or decrease value on you because you got the bag, bro. You got the bag. You know what? This Pop the Balloon challenge. Y'all see the Pop the Balloon show? It used to be good, man. When it was
It's on Netflix now. They got the bag.
Netflix and it got whack or whatever. But you know, this one gentleman was on there, man. He came in. He had, you know, all the these big diamonds.
Oh, I seen that Bama. Yeah.
These big diamond chains and all that stuff. And you know, he just thought that he was just going just like
he had that painted beard too.
he thought nobody was gonna pop on him. He just thought he was that stuff.
Yes,
but you know what was surprising? Women start asking character questions.
They sure did.
They start asking character questions. You know, what type of man are you? Do you go to church A, B, and C? And then that's when he started to recluse back and start, you know, mouthing off at the ladies and just thought that money was going to take him across the top, you know? Listen, man, you got to have more in your life than just a bag. You got to have more in your life than just a bag, man.
They don't want to hear this, man. These brothers, they want all that pressure.
But hold on, you ladies, you know,
like a failure.
Listen. You know how I roll, lady. I mean, you know how I roll, MyRon. You ladies too. Ladies, quit trying to devalue a man because of how much money he don't got. Stop it. If that's all you're looking for, then go ahead and get you a ugly sugar daddy or something like that. That ain't gonna treat you well. Quit trying to down these brothers because of how much money they don't have. And on the flip side, quit overvaluing these men on the money that they do have. All right. Just because he pull up in the Benz and all this stuff, oh my God, that stuff look good on the outside.
You be seeing that on social a lot. But you know them gold digger posts where the dude be trying to holler at the girl, the baddie, and she don't want to hear nothing from him. And then he step into the Lambo, and then she be trying to pull. Oh man, that don't be pissing me
quit
off.
Trying to overvalue these men over what they do have and the money that they do have. We got to start asking some character questions, some life questions, because that is what's going to hold you over when times get tough. I got 10.
Facts.
Me and my wife, babe, what's up, babe? Me and my wife got 10 years in. 10 years. This year we got 10 years in. I remember the day that MyRon married us. We got 10 years in. Let me tell you something.
Oh, 10 years?
10 years. Yeah. We got 10 years. 10 years in. Let me tell you something. In 10 years, one of the biggest barriers or a barrier that we never really had was money. I can't think of like a money argument that we had. Like, you know, I like finances and stuff like that. Of course
that's because your wife, she's not like superficial like that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got a good one, right? So you know, of course we financially plan and we set goals and things like that, but like money has never really been an argument in our household. And I'm not saying because I got all the money. No, I'm not saying that. It's just we just place value on different things in our household. We place value on just our walk with the Lord, our affection, you know, are we connecting mentally? You know, are we having worship in our home? You know, my wife will pull up on me anytime. Hey, dude, what's up? Why don't you lead a family worship? Why don't you lead a family worship? What's up with the family worship this week? She ain't asking me, hey, dude, what's up? Why don't I got $500 in my account? You know, she don't we don't roll like that. She more concerned. Listen, Juanita Walker is more concerned about how I'm leading this family emotionally and spiritually.
Yeah.
That's when she would come to me and be like, dude, what's up with the family worship? You know,
She different.
What's up with family prayer? She don't be really asking questions about money a whole lot. She's asking character questions about me personally. What have you been doing? You working out again? You know, so like it's I'm really trying to think. It's really not about money in our household. That's not a stressor in our household. The stressor
So
is
you probably do feel some stress too. It's just natural, but you don't feel overwhelmed. Like, you know, you feel like, yo, man, I'm supported, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel supported. I definitely feel supported through ups and downs with finances, lows, highs, you know.
This chick, Anne Marie, said, she said, I'm a passionate person who promises prayer and quiet time before God. A man who don't understand that can't lead me anywhere. Yo, she sound like our wives. Like, yeah, I don't care how much money you have, dude, but man, you can't lead me anywhere. And listen, real talk. Let me keep it 100. Let me keep it 100 for some of these boys real quick. Let me keep it 100. Hey, Fel, I'm just talking to the brothers right here. Hey, man, let me tell you right now. I know a lot of dudes. I coach them who got the bag. They millionaires. I coach these guys. They ain't getting no draws. You know why they not getting the draws?
Yeah, man.
Because that's all they got. They so broke, all they got is money.
You gotta pour in too.
You gotta
pour in too.
Come on, Lamont. Lamont, you done dropped a long back. He said, preacher, you speaking to value. Listen, addicted to drugs and alcohol, 16 years. Tomorrow I will have 20 years clean and sober. Come on, brother. 13 times to the Department of Correction. A licensed substance abuse counselor. Licensed called Corey disorder. Professional license. Medicated assistant. Come on, addictions treatment. Come on, professional. And a pastor today, my man. And church through it all in every situation. I don't feel I lost my value as a man when I was up. I felt like I had something to give when I was down, and I still feel that way. Much love to you, Lamont. And that's exactly what I'm saying. When you was out there using drugs in the streets, didn't know who you was, out of your mind, guess what? You still have value, bro. You still have value. You still have value, brother. Still have value.
Because that's why you gotta know yourself, brothers. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself, and it's hard. I'm telling you, it's not easy, man. It's hard, man. It's hard, man. When you down,
you gotta break free from all of this crap that's been taught to us. Question everything.
Yeah,
that's right. I said it. If bro, you need to question everything, then get back to the word. Because some of y'all, even when y'all read the word, y'all be putting on the word stuff that the word don't even say. You don't know what you're talking about. Nah, I just be tripping. I don't know. I shouldn't be like this, but it's like
it's
like
because we're passionate. Because we're passionate, man. Because we see a lot of brothers crashing out.
It ain't working.
You're not putting the value in the right things, man. You got to put the value in the right things, man. You crashing out because you just worried about money, and that's why you ain't getting no draws.
Yeah. And he think if I get more of this, then I'm gonna be the man. AJ, before we go, I have a question for you.
What's up?
We're gonna shift gears. Don't worry, fellas. You're gonna hear more about this. I'm putting the whole thing together on this, and we'll be teaching more on this, and we're gonna be talking more about this. Next week, we're gonna talk about. So last week we talked about protector. Today we talked about provider. Next week we're gonna talk about priest. Priest. Now don't turn us off now. Don't turn us off now. See, y'all had all that energy on provider. Hey, but Jay, as we shift gears, I'm gonna go back to the summer conversation because brothers are getting ready for the summer. I notice a lot of brothers know how to dress. Well, at least they have the proper attire for, the colder seasons or maybe even the spring. But I know some dudes that they don't wear shorts because of their legs or things of that nature, whatever. But the summer becomes very important on what kind of shoes you're wearing.
Yeah,
There's some
definitely.
things you can get away with, when it's not. But now your shoe game got to be right. Now I'm not encouraging like just blanket materialism, but there's some basic things you need to have in your wardrobe. So Jay, I want to bring this to the fore. I thought about this.
Yeah.
What are some basic sneaks that you would recommend? Let's just give them maybe the top 5 sneaks that a brother needs to have in his closet. That's versatile, that he can wear during the summertime, that he can get through. Sneaks to cop for this summer. Go ahead.
For the low. How about that for the low? Sneaks to cop for the low.
All right.
Because we're not placing all the value on materialism, right? Sneak number 1 you got to have for the low. Some nice crispy pair of Air Force Ones. You can get them for
Got to.
115, something
That's
like that.
Necessary.
Nice crispy pair of Air Force One. I'm not a big Air Force One guy. I will say that. But in my life, I've had multiple pair of high top Air Force Ones. You go high top, low top. You can't go wrong.
No, we can't go high top. Can't go high top. Stop that.
Hold on.
Come on, man. Stand there. What is wrong with you guys? Come on, man. We can't have the high top Air Force. They don't even make them things.
Listen, I'm thinking back in the 2000s. I'm tripping.
Anne Marie said it. You need to have a nice, plain white pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
Air Force Ones is a standard. I would also go out there.
You know what, though? You know what?
What about the what's name?
Wear high top Air Force Ones.
Stan Smith.
High top Air Force Ones.
No, you can't, bro. No, you can't.
Not
no grown 40-year-old man.
Clip this. I think you can get away with a white pair of Air Force One high tops.
With the strap on it. With the strap on top. What they gonna do? Wear it loose or strap it up? Get out of here, man. This guy.
Anyway,
Common Projects is another nice pair, but they're very expensive. But it's a simple Common Projects. You know what? That's why you on here, for me to teach you a few things, brother. But anyway, the point is you need a nice pair of white sneaks. All right, number 2. What else do they need?
A nice pair of runners. Nice pair of runners.
Nice pair of runners. We talking Air Max. We talking New Balance. We talking Asics.
Asics is back in the game. Nice pair of runners. All right. Since you dogged my high top comment because I was thinking about the 2000s, hey, gotta get you a nice pair of ones in there, man. Nice pair of Jordan ones for the summer. Nice pair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Are we talking about the lows?
No, I'm talking about the highs. The highs.
Right.
Nice pair of high top Jordan ones for the summer. Nice pair of Jordan ones for summer.
This man said, get a pair of Walmart shoes. I style them all the time.
Hey, that's a trend now. That is a trend now.
Oh man,
that's a trend now.
And then I think every man needs to have a nice loafer, like a nice summer loafer, bro. You can't now. I know
metro thing, man. Let me go off camera.
Hold on, my bad.
I'll be right back.
Yo, Jay, you know why Jay stepped out? Because Jay know he need to improve his casual game. See, he's either suit or sneakers. He don't have a mid-range. He need to get a mid-range. He don't have a midi.
And we're back. All right.
He don't have a midi. He need a midi. He need that midi.
That's you, man. That's you.
But we said sneaks. What else? What other kind of sneaks do they need?
You know what? I'm gonna go here. Grab your pair of Sambas, man. Grab your pair of Sambas for the summer.
100%. No matter the color. No matter the color. Put a white pair, and I say I have a white and a black pair.
Yeah,
I have multiple pairs of Sambas, and they're very inexpensive. We're talking about Adidas Sambas. They're OGs, they're original shoes. They're very inexpensive, and they just look clean. You can wear them with a suit. You can wear them casually. You can wear them with some shorts. you can wear them with a oversized T-shirt. You know, I'm like, but yes, for sure. All right, that's good. That's good, Jay. All right, what about number 5?
How the Lord bless me and ones. Let's do a little reveal today. Let's I mean, I don't know if y'all brothers can get these. I don't know if y'all can get these, but get you a pair of
those the band ones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was blessed.
Yeah, those
My
is
boy
tough.
blessed me with these. Nice pair of high top Air Force One. I mean, high top Jordan 1.
Those look like mids.
No, these are highs, brother.
Nah,
these are
mids.
highs. No,
Get out of here, man. You can't.
These are the band highs. Okay. Shout out to my boy Steve Craig. So yes, nice pair of.
I got a number 5 for you.
What's up?
Now you said some runners, but you was talking about more like the sporting kind of runners, not because the summer is a active outdoorsy kind of thing. I want to recommend that you get another pair of runners, but these are not the kind of runners that you wear for lifestyle. These are the runners that you wear for long walks. Maybe a light jog, or here in Atlanta we had the belt line, brother. You could just walk for miles. Some of these, like Air Max, they're not comfortable. Mm-hmm. Some of these shoes, they're made for looks, not for lifestyle. Let me just throw a few brands out here. And I know some of you going to sleep on this, but I'm going to tell you right now, this may sound old, man. Jason going to come for me, but it's all right. On Clouds. Trust me. Now, it depends on which ones. Now, I know a lot of our medical people are wearing these. I ain't talking about the slip-on joints, but they have a few ones, but I get it. Like, these are for our older guys. Listen, you need to have a pair of Hokas. You need to have a pair of Hoka ones.
Hold on. What? I was the original Hoka guy,
I was first.
No, dude. I've been wearing Hokas.
Some of the New Balance. Like, get you a nice pair of. Well, I'm saying, but you know what I'm talking about. There are certain things that are built for running. They're not built for style, but they can get you up and down the road. That's what I'm talking about. You got a bad hip, you need to wear these. You got bad knees, you can't be out there wearing no Air Max 1s. You got to get you some comfortable shoes that can help them bad hips and knees.
You know what? It's so funny because that's how I came up on these bands. My boy Steve was like, man, I'm gonna just get rid of all my Jordans, and he's a very avid shoe collector. Like, man, I'm gonna get rid of all my Jordans because my feet ain't comfortable. I'm getting these on Clouds. I'm just like, man, stop it, man. I was like, you know what? You selling them? I'm buying. I'll clean them out. I want all of them. I want all your grills. Give them to me. But I'm not advocating on Clouds. I ain't doing it.
Your girl Anne Marie said New Balance is golden. They're nice looking now. They've been nice looking. What are you talking about, Ann?
Y'all sleeping. New Balance been killing the game.
They big time sleeping. I'm about to, Jay, I'm about to buy some On Clouds right now.
And number 6, I'm gonna put it out there. Everybody about to come for me. They'll be like, what is Jason saying?
Number 6.
I'm gonna throw them out there. Get you a nice pair of sandals for the summer. I done turned a new leaf. Get you a nice pair of sandals for the summer. Get you a nice pair of sandals for the summer. I talked about MyRon and him getting his polish on his nails and all that stuff. But brothers, if you want to get you a nice pair of sandals for the summer, go ahead and I knew he was going to turn off.
But listen, man, it's like the minute I think that this guy has his head wrapped on tight, should we wear socks with him? Should we wear socks with him? No, but no, hold on. Hold on. What about the slides, though?
Hey, slides, get you a nice pair of sandals for the summer, man.
What about a pair of slides, though?
Hey,
are we wearing the slides with socks or without socks?
Man, listen, I'm old, man. I turned over a new leaf, man. Get you a nice pair of little designer slides, little designer sandals, man.
Without socks.
Without socks. Go ahead and get your feet done. And go ahead and get your feet done and put you on a nice pair of sandals. Just don't put no gloss on your toes and on your
Hey, when I was in Africa, bro, they was wearing all they do is wear no socks, bro.
Hey, listen, man.
Minority, bro. If you know,
listen, get your nice pair of sandals for the summer, man.
Man, we out of here, bro. We gotta go. We out here. This guy.
One more thing. Shout out to you, man, on that podcast, man. What's the name of that podcast, man? Let's give him a shout.
Oh, Hardly Initiated.
Hardly Initiated, man. Shout out. You was on there spitting that fire.
No, those are my boys too, man. Those some good dudes. Those young dudes are whatever people say about them YNs, don't believe it about those boys. Those boys is all right with me, man. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Tyshawn. Shout out Hardly Initiated Podcast. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, he was cooking. We out of here. Get you some sandals. We out of here.
This guy, bro. He always contradicts himself over.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Get Your S.H.I.F.T. Together Men's Podcast. For more information, please visit our website, menswinningscircle.com. That is, menswinningscircle.com. Let's win in the things that matter.